That will make it sound. Here, what about just like that? Is that gonna give feedback?
No.
Really? I guess I'll listen to it. Okay. Once they start.
Oh, that's right.
They're getting the water reflow.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Yeah? You get white noise? Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. But if it's right here like that, mic check. Just like this. Mic check, mic check. Yeah? All right.
The white balance, I que estoy.
You need a white balance? Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Yeah? All right.
Where is them? Oh, mic check, mic check, mic check one, mic check, mic check. 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 Mic check one, mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic. It's good. Mic check, mic check, mic check one. Mic check, mic check. Oh, mic check, mic check, mic check one. Mic check, mic check.
Sure. I'm at 45.
You're set? Good afternoon, everybody. All right, good afternoon. So I'm going to be making a few brief remarks today, and then I'll let you guys at the end ask some questions. But I just wanted to start off I'm pretty sure you all know who I am. I'm Congressman George Santos from New York's 3rd Congressional District. And today I had the opportunity to visit the U.S.-Mexico border here in El Paso. I got the opportunity to speak with our hardworking patrol agents, and they were able to give us a good briefing of everything that takes place here in the region that pertains to immigration. Now, let's be clear about this. A lot of folks are asking, both in the media and in social media, there's a frenzy. What is Congressman George Santos doing in El Paso? Well, I represent 700,000 New Yorkers who have now also become embroiled in this same issue that is going on here in the border. It's cheap political speak to say, oh, every state and every city is a border town, but that's true. When we have our governor scouting up in New York colleges inside of my district to put migrants in their dorms, that becomes an issue for me and for my constituents, and we need to understand what's going on. New York City is officially over capacity, and Mayor Adams, who visited down here a couple of months ago, said it himself, right? Our district is being targeted by a group called the South American Crime Ring. Now, this is a novel thing that's been taking place now for the last 3 to 4 years, and it's escalated and it's getting bigger. So as the issues grow bigger, burglaries grow bigger. As the issue goes bigger, home invasions grow bigger, and so on and so forth. Carjackings, car thefts, we can go on and on. These are issues that affect directly my constituents. So to me, it's important to know, and the reason that I make that connection is recently our local law enforcement made a several number of apprehensions and arrests in the district, and the one commonality between all of them as they apprehended goods, as they apprehended these individuals, is that all 6 of them had been admitted to the United States through the U.S.-Mexico border and were here on the premises of seeking asylum. Well, there's no asylum seeking if you're actually burglarizing homes in Nassau County and Queens County and New York's 3rd Congressional District. Look, it's pretty simple. I ran for office to get stuff done. I'm an outsider. I'm not a politician, nor am I a career politician. I might have my fair share of embroilments that the media seems to like. That's fair. But I ran to get stuff done. This is me learning. This is me doing my part to get stuff done. I didn't get elected to go to Washington, D.C. and do nothing but vote on messaging bills that do nothing for the American people. It's time that we bring change. And this is a humanitarian issue. And when I say this, it's not cheap political talk. We're talking about real issues. Today, as I toured the facility, we had approximately, at the time that we were visiting, 2,469 people. Those are 2,469 lives. A lot of people out here don't want them here, but the reality is they're people. We need to look at them as people, because the drug cartels and the smugglers sure as don't look at them that way. To them, they're nothing but a commodity. And when you make people, human beings, into a commodity, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. So what I want to understand is, how can we make things better? In the last 72 hours, 10 people have lost their lives crossing the border or after crossing the border due to either dehydration or injuries and illness. This calendar year, 40 people have passed away doing this treacherous journey. And children are dumped over the fence, and we've seen it all on the news. You guys cover this. This is what you guys do best. You cover it, you show the American people what's going on. But I guess what nobody is seeing and what's going on is, I had the opportunity to talk to Border Patrol agents today and have in-depth conversations to the effect of, this is on the top 3 most active regions of the U.S.-Mexico border. And being that it's on the active top 3, it ranks number 19 in personnel for CBP, meaning they need to up their numbers here because they're undermanned, underpaid, underappreciated, and under-respected and under-resourced. They need resources. I'm a member of Congress. I'm here to find out what those resources are so that we can bring those resources. This is an issue that the entire country should be interested in. It's an issue that every single member of the 118th Congress should be interested in. This is not political cheap talk. This is real issues that Americans are facing. So let's just move on and talk about the fact that currently we have about 400 to 500 new people coming in every single day. Yes, it is lower than the beginning of the year, but let's not forget that year to date, this calendar year, 300,000 people have come into the United States that were apprehended. We cannot make a number or a safe assumption for those that were not apprehended, right? So look, there's several things that can be done. There's several remedies that can be taken. How about we start by hiring more CBP agents? How about we start by creating a bigger budget for CBP? How about we give the same priority we give to the American-U.S. southern border as we give to the Ukraine-Russia southern border? We need to prioritize this. This is our country. This is our issues. These need to be priorities for us in Congress. Look, I've put forward 3 different bills that would adjust and that would address the border crisis. I'm not saying they're the end-all be-all, but they're great ideas and they get the job done, and it starts somewhere. And that's H.R. 2633, to direct the Secretary of State to submit to Congress a report on the designation of MS-13, Queen Nation, Sinaloa Cartel, Jalisco Cartel, Nueva Generación, and Beltran Levaya organizations as foreign terrorist organizations. That would expand the scope of investigations into these organizations and would give our CBP officers, FBI agents, they would make them better equipped to tackle these organizations and keep them from coming in. The United States is a place where everybody can seek asylum. We will always open our doors to asylum seekers seeking a better life, free from fear. But we cannot we cannot allow seepage of bad people from these organizations to come into our country. We need to seat them out at the border and send them back. With that, there's H.R. 2632 to require reports on the immigration status of individuals convicted of state crimes. Currently something not being done. Very important. They're coming here, they're committing crimes, we send them back. We keep their best, we keep the good people. We don't have to keep everybody. There's nowhere on the law that says that. Lastly, H.R. 4230, to transfer the unobligated balances of amounts made available to the Internal Revenue Services under the Inflation Reduction Act to the Secretary of Homeland Security to secure the U.S. border. Simple. Instead of weaponizing the IRS against American citizens, how about we give that money to the Secretary of Homeland Security so he can do his job and his men can be better equipped with better tools and have the resources they need to do their job better. And with that, I'll open it up to questions, and I'd love to start with anybody who's willing to throw out your first question. Yes, sir.
A question about your trip here today. Uniquely among members of Congress, you're under bond orders that prevent you from traveling outside the D.C. or the New York area without notifying the court. Did you notify the court?
I would not violate any conditions set forth. Yes, I am in full compliance, and I'm here legally, sir.
And you did notify?
Yes, I did, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions that are relevant to the border?
Are you concerned when you use words like burglarizing when people are coming over to the United States? Thinking about 4 years ago when someone from Allen, Texas drove 10 hours to shoot people at Walmart. Is any of your language concerning?
Well, the language that I'm bringing to you are facts, right? These are facts based on the apprehensions made by these 6 individuals in my district who came in here with the message of, I'm here for asylum, I'm in danger where I come from, and then they chose to go burglarize the people of NY3. This isn't rhetoric. I'm not comparing the two wrongs don't make a right. So I believe severely that people who come in here seeking asylum shouldn't be burglarizing, and I think that's a fair point that I find it hard that I'd find any pushback in this country on that.
You said human bodies aren't commodities. Have you spoken to the governor of Texas who sent these bodies to New York?
So are you asking about Governor Abbott sending?
The
Well,
governor of Texas
look,
that put buses and sent all these people to New York. You said you're here to stop because humans aren't commodities.
I agree, humans aren't commodities,
That's
but
exactly what we do, and
when the
that's
mayor of New York City says they're welcome there, and the governor's trying to declutter El Paso, for instance, and give brevity to you guys here, I think it's in the best interest of you guys, or else they would all be here burdening a much smaller city, not in New York. The problem is it's not Governor Abbott's fault. It's not Mayor Adams' fault. The reality is it's the administration's fault for not taking the border seriously and taking it too lax. That's what it comes down to. This isn't about commodities to compare what the cartels do to these people and then say that Governor Abbott is doing the same is just disingenuous.
But they crossed from Texas, not New York.
Sure.
Abbott took them to New York.
Sure. If they had the opportunity, I'm sure that they'd go over Texas all the way up to Canada and then come down through New York, if that were an opportunity, right? I mean, that's as serious an answer as your question is, sir.
So
Anyone else have a question?
So you haven't spoken to Abbott?
No, I have not spoken to Governor Abbott.
Who is funding this trip, Representative?
Oh, this is an official trip by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Given the timing of your trip to El Paso, Mr. Santos, this is nothing new. Seeing asylum seekers come across this in El Paso, this is very long issue.
Well, it's new to me as a freshman.
Okay, as a freshman. So at least the past 6 months, this has been going on, and much longer than that, at least since you've been in office. Does the timing of your trip line up at all with what was said by the House Speaker this morning, as he would not support you for...
My trip's been scheduled for over 3 weeks now, so I mean, I couldn't foresee into the future what the speaker was saying. And it wasn't the first time the speaker said that either. So if you've been keeping up with the speaker. I mean, look, I respect him. He can say whatever he wants. It's a free country. We are all free to do whatever we want. As far as the issue of not coming down here 6 months ago, I didn't have people arrested in my district for burglarizing my district who could have come through this point of entry.
So are you
Congressman, they were arrested in
Are you here
January.
for the people of El Paso who are experiencing this issue firsthand, or are you here for the people who are...
I'm here for the American people in general, but mainly for the people of New York State, and I wanted to see how this was faring out for the people of El Paso.
And in terms of your trip today, so local immigration advocacy groups telling us directly, I mean, you can say all you want that it's not political theater, but they believe it is directly what the leaders want to say.
I think it's interesting. I'm probably one of the most compassionate members of Congress on the Republican side when it comes to immigration. I'm pro DACA. I get a lot of heat for that. So to say that it's political theater, I meet with a lot of immigration groups in my office, and they're all very pleased with my immigration views. We need immigration reform. We need sensible immigration reform that leads to actually humanitarian values being incorporated in them and seeing people for being just human beings. And to call it political theater, I think you should save that for the people who actually just want to deport every single human being out of the United States. Those are the people who like to do political theater.
Congressman, just to clarify, I just looked up the cases you're referring to. That those burglaries occurred in December.
The burglaries you're talking about in December are a separate case. We have burglaries arrests in my district on a weekly basis. I encourage you to look look further. Yeah, yeah, no, it's not. The case I'm referring to, sir, was just took place recently, and there was $10 million worth of jewelry apprehended with them. So this is a very recent case.
So just to clarify.
Anyone else have any more questions?
Let me finish the
Sir,
question.
you're hogging the space. If anyone else wants to ask a question, please feel free.
Will
Yes.
you be going to California and doing and checking out the border over there?
In San Diego? Not at the present moment, but I do foresee in the near future doing the trip there as well.
McAllen, the Valley.
Like I said, I will go anywhere that I believe it's educational. This was very educational. I want to make sure. When I was in the facility with CBP today, I was given the opportunity to speak to some of the migrants, and their stories are moving. Look, I'm a son of immigrants, right? This isn't about demonizing. This is a people situation that we're facing. These are human beings. These 3 individuals came from Venezuela. Their story, I mean, I can't verify them to be true or not, but the reality is, one of them says that he's a deflector from the Venezuelan military. He can't go back home. If he goes back home, you know what's going to happen to him, right? He says that he'll be charged for treason. That's sad. That's troubling. The other one says he traveled 4 days through the jungle in Colombia to get to Panama. I mean, these are stories that I couldn't imagine even putting myself through. But these people are coming here, and they're so desperate to come here because whatever they're leaving behind must be very bad, right? Look, I sympathize. I see the human aspect of it. I see the sensible issue that it generates for human beings. Like I said, this trip had nothing to do with political theater. It was really just to gather the facts, understand the situation. Now I'm better equipped with numbers, with stats directly from the CBP here in El Paso in order to go back home, go back to my constituents, go back to my congressional office with my staff and try to write up legislation that will alleviate the situation, that will better equip the members of CBP, that will better equip the members, the civilian workers working inside the facilities, expand the civilian workload so that we can have less CBP agents tied up and more CBP agents at the border doing their job. This is about requesting resources and funding through Congress, who controls the power of the purse, in order to properly fund the U.S.-Mexico border. That's what this is all about. This has nothing to do with coming here and trying to look good or fundraise. I haven't engaged in a single political activity, and I don't intend to.
How realistic is your wish list for CBP agents and Border Patrol?
I'll put it this way: wish lists shouldn't be limited. We aim for the sky and we get what we get. The reality is, I'm one of 435.
So how realistic is it?
As realistic as I can make it. I'll go ahead, I'll put my request, we'll look at what we can do, what we want to do, and we'll start shooting away and filing these bills and working them through. That's how you got to do it. It's volume. It's a game of volume when you're in Washington, D.C.
So what else did they ask for? CBP agents and what did they ask for?
What do you think CBP agents ask for? It's funding, it's personnel, it's technology, it's resources.
Which facility did you visit today?
I don't want to sound ignorant, but it's the new camp that they built in January, the processing center where they expanded the volume, but they went up to the 5,000. I mean, it's a great facility.
And you said as of today they were about 2,400?
2469 was the number on the board exactly when the time I was there, right? That number changes.
You know, this is about a month and change after Title 42 ended back in May. Are you aware that around that time we had more than 6,000 people in those?
Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm aware, and
The issue here has definitely been a lot worse than what you saw.
100%. I mean, I know that the old facility that only accommodated 1,040 people at one point had 5,000, and that was at the peak of things when it was really bad, right? I was a member of Congress that I couldn't have visited, but the reality is,
Actually, just a month ago. You were
no. What I'm talking about is 2019,
Okay.
right? So not the processing center. As a result of Title 42, Title 42 also created a lot of recidivism by people coming in, being removed, and turning around in the same day, in some cases, coming back right back to the same doors multiple times, according to CBP officers, which would bring the numbers up on an encounter per day. So we're never going to know 100% is if Title 42 in fact decreased the amount of people coming through, or if it just decreased recidivism. So.
I mean, CBP's numbers do show for the past month they've dropped.
No, they've dropped. They're down to 400 to 500 people a day, which to them is a miracle, you know. How many of them are staying? How many of them are leaving? That's a great question. How many are not being apprehended? Those are all questions that they can't answer. You can't answer what you don't know.
Congressman, another question on the travel details. My understanding is that you use the MRA account to use congressional funds to travel to another district that requires an invitation from a representative from that district. Did Congressman Escobar or Congressman
Sir, you know what? I will refer you to call House Counsel if you have any questions further.
I'm
Just do
asking you,
that, sir.
Did you get an invitation?
You
from-
can do that. I'm not entertaining your questions anymore. Anyone else have any last questions?
I mean, you're talking about finding solutions. Have you reached out to Congresswoman Veronica Escobar or Tony Gonzalez?
So I'm a supporter of the bill that Congresswoman Veronica Escobar and Congresswoman Salazar are supporting, the Dignity Act. I'm a supporter of the bill. I think it's a great start. I am one of very few Republicans in the House so far, and I think we're making a push to get more people to subscribe. It's a great bill authored by the Congresswoman. I think she's on the right path, along with Congresswoman Salazar from Miami, and I think it's going to be a great start for all of us in order to get something on the rolling block, so on the chopping block, so we can start getting something done.
So you have talked to her?
No, I have not spoken to her directly, but I do support her bill. To me, I think it's good work. You recognize good work when you see it.
Have you been in communication with fellow Republican Tony Gonzalez, who represents Paso?
I have had communication with Congressman Gonzalez in the past, and we have discussed immigration. Not as of recent. I have not had any discussions with him. All right. Well, with that, last question, sir.
Before you leave the press release Sunday, you can do English and Spanish too.
See, yeah.
So I was wondering if you could, nomás me puedes hablar un poquito.
Yeah, we can do those on the one-on-ones if you'd like to do that, sir. All right, perfect. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate it. All right. Hello, how are you? Good. Albert Pettis, Telemundo. Albert Pettis. Oh, there you go. Hello? Telemundo. Telemundo. Yeah, you see, I'm that's a good one. I'm sorry. That's a good one. I've done Oh, you got it? All right.